Chris Codinas, licensed professional counselor, also the host of We Need to Talk on every Sunday at noon on YouTube, and then I post it up to Facebook. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. If you feel you need a therapist, please go to Google, type in therapy, your city, Psychology Today will pop up, click on that, and it will have qualified therapists in your area. Also, the views and opinions stated herein are mine and mine alone. They do not represent the ACA, the APA, or any other damn therapist for that matter. Boom! Shakalaka done. These two lovely collies back here, these are my sister's dogs. They're awesome. Anyway, these are Nancy's dogs. They're in the Southland Collie Rescue calendar. So I thought that was kind of cool. All right, diving into the questions. All right, hi, do you have any ideas about how to hold on to yourself when you are being triggered? I feel jealous a lot, and I fear that my partner might secretly want another partner, but I don't know. I know you don't like jealousy, so I haven't wanted to ask. Never be afraid to ask something, guys. Never be afraid to ask something. So jealousy is rooted in, again, low self-esteem. It is the feeling that we are not worthy or, unable to be wanted or be with a partner. So unfortunately, what ends up happening is if we are super jealous all the time, our partner is going to get super, super sick of it. So when you are triggered by the jealousy, you have to ask yourself, where is this coming from? Is this something based in reality? Has my partner cheated in the past? Has there been issues there? Because if there's been trust issues, then, well, where there's smoke, there's going to be fire. But if there are no trust issues, like they are faithful and they have never done anything to give you the idea that they wanted to cheat or wanted to go outside the relationship or whatever, and you're constantly like, let me look through your phone, let me see what you're doing, let me, I don't trust you, blah, 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 your partner's going to get really sick of that. So it depends on what's going on. If it's your gut going, oh my God, this has happened in the past, I do not want this to happen now, and so I'm jealous and I'm worried, then okay, there might be something there. Trust your gut. But if your partner has shown themselves trustworthy and you are still like wanting to go through the phone and all of this stuff, that's a recipe for disaster, because your partner is going to get tired of it and either go, fine, I might as well cheat. I'm being accused of the crime. I might as well do it. Or they're going to be like, I'm tired of this. I'm sick of having to reassure you. I'm out of here. Goodbye. Which is terrible, because that is so not what you want. So how do you hold on to yourself when you're feeling triggered? You take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. And again, you don't resist the thought, but you also do not invite it in for coffee, because the damn thing will stay for breakfast. You know what I'm saying? So the thought pops up. Oh my God, they're cheating on me. Or, oh my God, I am so jealous of this friend or whatever. You have to go, okay, thought, thank you for your input. Is this valid? Do I have any evidence, real evidence, that there's anything going on? What is my gut telling me? And remember, head and the heart tell stories. Gut is a simple yes or no answer to a yes or no question. So if you're hearing a whole bunch of blah, 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 what if this, what if that, what, no, that's not your gut. Listen to your gut. So is there a reason to not trust your partner? If there's not, and this is just your head just giving you a mind fuck, no, don't even entertain it. You journal it out. Where did this come from? Why are you feeling insecure? What is happening? Stay in the present moment. How does this connect back to your family of origin, etc.? If the jealousy has been a huge issue in your relationship, I strongly encourage you to get with a good therapist and start working on that. Where was the original betrayal? Who in this family of origin betrayed you? Because this is where this is all stemming from. So really good idea to start working on that. So you breathe, you acknowledge the thought, you do not invite it in, but you also do not resist it. So that's what you do with that. What is up with the abuser saying something like, why won't you have a joint account with me? You must not trust me. So again, you've got to be very careful about any relationship that moves way the hell too fast, and not just fast emotionally, but fast fiscally. So think of it that way. So abusers want to get their hands on your money because they can control you. If they have the ability to go in and see what you're spending money on, they have the ability to start making you wrong for the way that you're spending your money. And they also have the ability to, try to manipulate and control that money so that you're not spending it and that they are. So when an abuser, you know, John and I have got separate bank accounts. We've got separate bank accounts, and we have a joint account that we put funds into to take care of the house, okay? But he's got his account, I got my account, and then we got a joint account for the house. So, and that funds in that house account are only spent on household funds. Does that, or, you know, household projects. So you really want to be very careful of somebody who's like, you know, give me your money, I want a joint account with you. Oh, you must not trust me if we're not having a joint account. Hell no, you don't want a joint account with somebody, not off the bat. Now, if you've lived with somebody for a while and they have shown themselves to be trustworthy, then you can consider a joint bank account. But you do not want to, right off the bat, get a joint account with them. You don't. You want your money, they want their money, and then there's a household account that you pull from to take care of the household issues. So, yeah, so if they do something like that, it's kind of like, no, this doesn't have to do about trust, this has to do about independence. I need to keep my independence, thank you. So, and if they don't like that, then that's a huge red flag. So there is that. Okay, how to say thanks and show gratitude to someone for a no strings attached gift or compliment. I don't think I even know how to do this. A lot of us don't. So when we're raised by abusers, especially narcissists, there are so many strings attached, it's not even funny. There is nothing given that does not have an agenda tied to it, okay? So when we grow up and out and we leave, we really seriously do not know how to accept a compliment, give thanks for a gift that has no strings attached, because we're always going, well, where's the other shoe? When's the other shoe going to drop? When are they going to come back and want, you know, X, Y, and Z? So you just start practicing, you know, you just start practicing. So one of the things that I have my clients do, especially in a group setting, and I haven't done this in a while because I haven't done group in a while because of stupid COVID, but you know, in a group setting, is that giving compliments and just accepting them. So like standing and going down a line and just receiving a compliment and saying thank you. And it feels really uncomfortable. It does, because we are not used to it. First of all, we're not used to being complimented because usually we got the stick more than the carrot. And secondly, if we did get a compliment, there was some agenda behind it. There was some string attached. There was some nefarious thing going on. So when somebody gives us a compliment, let it in. Let it in. And again, trust your gut. Are there strings attached to this compliment? If not, then great, thank you so much. But don't compliment back. See, that's what we do. When somebody gives us a compliment, what we have a tendency to do is, oh, you too. Oh, you look fabulous too. Or, you know, oh, no, you know, you're awesome. You know, we have a tendency to deflect it and put it back on the other person. What you want to start doing is just letting it in and just saying, thank you. Wow, thank you. That was really sweet. Thank you. And leave it at that. It's going to feel uncomfortable, but you got to practice that. Because healthy people that have a healthy family and a healthy background, that's how they do it. Oh, I know. It's like, what is this magic you speak of? What is this compliments with no strings attached? What the hell? That's what it is. So you start just saying thank you and letting it in. And then notice how uncomfortable you feel and journal about it. Why isn't it okay for you to accept a compliment? Why isn't it okay to just be? Think about that. So yeah, it's really hard. And you just say thank you, and that's it. No explanation, no, oh, you too, or none of that. Sit with the uncomfortableness, journal it out, figure out where that came from. And then when you figure out the source of it, do a letter. Dear mom, dear dad, dear grandparents, dear teacher, dear whoever, fuck the fuckity fuck out of fucking fuck you for giving me this weird complex about not being able to accept gifts or compliments. Thanks. Guess what? I am working on that, and you don't get to live in my head rent-free one more goddamn minute. Fuck you. And then trot it out to the barbecue, read it out loud once, burn it, and work on allowing and accepting compliments. Just a simple thank you. So write that out. Okay. Why do some narcissistic parents feel entitled to adult children's paycheck? Because they're narcissistic and they have a sense of entitlement. You answered your own question. No, seriously, they are narcissistic and they have a sense of entitlement. They literally think that what's theirs is theirs and what's yours is theirs. And they will go to adult children and demand the paycheck or demand a cut of something. You know, it's like, well, you know, I need a cut of that. I need a cut of this. I need, what? You had nothing to do with this. What the fuck do you need a cut of this for? I'm sorry, you're not the one earning this paycheck. Do you see where I'm going with that? But they're very entitled. So yeah, they do that because they've got a sense of entitlement, you know, the size of North America, if not bigger. So they really do feel that they are entitled to adult children's paychecks or adult children's you know, they get an inheritance or they win something or whatever. They seriously, those are the ones that show up and go, you know, I'm your mother, I'm your father, I'm your sister, I'm your brother, I'm your cousin, I'm your whatever, and I need a cut of that. What? Yeah. So that's why they do that. And what you do is you say no. Absolutely, unequivocally, no. And no is your friend. And you might want to journal that out too. It's like if you're having a hard time saying no, cement that in your head. You get to say no. You get to say no and mean it. Now, that may mean that they give you the cold shoulder and they do the stonewalling. And if they do, great. You don't have to hear from them. Fabulous. Y'all just do that. Bye-bye. You know. So yeah, so that's why they do that. My narc mother has proudly said to me a few times that I've never had to ask her for money, but then she holds the will against me as a punishment. Why, when I've always been self-sufficient? Well, they can't stand it that you're self-sufficient, number one. So my dad did the same thing, guys. If you read my book, and I don't have it in front of me because I'm out in the other room, What's Wrong with Your Dad? He did that to all of us. He held the will over all of our heads. Oh, well, you know, you toe the line and you're going to get this great reward. No. So the point is that it's a form of control, and they don't understand self-sufficiency because they're not. They're usually living off of someone else's money, or if they have their own money, they're so stingy you could not squeeze a greased BB up their butt. You know what I'm saying? So they don't understand that money does not have meaning to everybody. Money does not have meaning to everybody. Some people are, you know, it's kind of like they realize it's a means to an end, and that's it. It's not a power, it's not a control, it's not anything else. And I had this conversation with you guys a couple of weeks ago on money, etc. But they use the will as a form of control, and they think that they can entice us to do their will in their way if they just hold the will over our head. And, you know, those of us who realize it's a load of shit are the freest because we go, no. You know, and we go live our own lives. So, yeah, that's why they do it. Even though you've been self-sufficient, it doesn't matter. In their mind, this is a way for them to control. And they're trying desperately. Even though you've been self-sufficient, they're hoping that it's enough of a carrot to get you to go, oh, you want me to jump? Let me ask how high. No, don't do it. Don't do it. All right, moving on. Do narcissists... This is kind of convoluted. Let me see if I can paraphrase it. Okay. Do narcissists care who they sleep with? Are a lot of them homosexual and don't admit to it? They can be. Yeah, absolutely. It's very funny. And again, I've said this before. The ones who are the loudest homophobics generally have homosexual feelings that they're rejecting, and so they hate anybody who's gay. So a lot of narcissists are like that. And a lot of narcissists are unwilling to admit or acknowledge their sexuality because they think it makes them less than perfect. So in their minds, they need to be quote unquote perfect. And so they don't admit to what their true sexual desires are and who they are as a person. Because remember, they're all fake, guys. They wouldn't know reality if it walked up and did the Watusi with them. So if they're having, you know, a lot of times I will hear clients tell me that they were with this person and then all of a sudden they found out that they had a lover of the same sex and nothing was ever mentioned, nothing was ever talked. They do that because it's inauthentic. Being authentic means you are open and honest. You know, this is my sexuality, this is who I sleep with, this is who I'm attracted to, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, they do absolutely do that because they are inauthentic people. They are not genuine. They are not real. A real, genuine person is able to go, yep, this is what I'm attracted to. This is where I am. You know, I'm not going to be fooling around. I'm not going to be, you know, having a side affair or whatever. And they don't, because they wouldn't know authenticity if it walked up, like I said, and did the Watusi with them. So yeah, oftentimes they can be, quote unquote, in the closet, but they're not even really in the closet. It's like they're just playing a game. They're wanting to pull the wool over as many people's eyes as possible. And in the case I was telling you about, it's like not only did the spouse not know about the other person didn't know about the spouse. So clearly there was a big game going on. So yeah, that is quite the possibility. How to process and work on 3 incidents of rape with an abusive ex. Should I tackle each one at a time? I can't afford therapy anymore. Okay, whew, that's a heavy issue. So abusers love to abuse sexually, they love to abuse physically, they love to abuse religiously, emotionally, spiritually, you name it. And even though the abuse is similar, it's still different. It's really hard to explain. If you have not been through it, it's really hard to explain. So I would say maybe take each one separately, you know, break it down into doable little chunks to work on. So there are some great workbooks on sexual abuse. There are some great workbooks on how to process the trauma from that. Just go to Amazon and look those up and find those. I don't have any off the top of my head. I'm sorry, my brain is kind of blah, blah, blah today. So you want to tackle each one separately. If they all come jumbled together, okay, write it out that way. But I would say try to break it down. Try to break it down. You know, make it doable little chunks that you can work on. So get a good workbook for PTSD workbook. CPTSD workbook is really good. You're going to want to start breaking that down and working on each one individually. And while you are doing this, while you are working on this particular issue, you want to do self-care like a boss. It is going to bring up a lot of memories. It is going to bring up a lot of sensations and feelings. Another good book is The Body Keeps Score by Bessel van der Kolk. Love it. Love him. He's awesome. So that's another good book to work on it with. But I would take it one at a time and go slow. If you can get to a therapist, get to a therapist. Again, you want to, I mean, you can look for low cost to no cost therapy. So I know that I'm sorry, phones are buzzing. What was I saying? Brain gone. Sorry. Okay, so if you want to get some free therapy, if there's a college near you that has a master's program, they usually have some sort of practicum where they need the students to practice on people. So look for that. You can also try Catholic Charities. You can try Catholic Charities. You can try Jewish Family Home Services. There's a whole bunch of different ones that offer either low cost or no cost. So, and I know that Catholic Charities does do free counseling for domestic violence, at least here in the Phoenix area. So, I don't know where you're at, but yeah, you could try that. Cough, choke, hang on. Okay. Is it common for personality disordered people, especially borderlines, to stop having sex when they get into a relationship? It is common for both borderlines and narcissists because it's a game. So it's the more malignant they are, the more they do the sex game. So usually what they do is they love sex, love sex, love sex. You get into the relationship and then suddenly dries up completely. And then they start making it about you. It's your fault. It's you. It's you. You smell. You this. You that. You don't, you know, orgasm the way I like, or whatever. They're terrible about that. So yeah, it is very common to get into a relationship, and then once the relationship is secured, sex dries up. Yeah, absolutely. And that is not normal. That is not what normal, healthy people do. So if that is what is happening, you may want to ask your partner, what is the deal? What is going on? If they're at the lower end of the spectrum, it can be worked on. If they're more malignant, not so much. So just be aware of that. Okay, been in therapy before, but I still get panic attacks in intimate situations to the point that I've stopped trying. Is this something to solve in therapy, or do I just keep trying to get over it? No, 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 no. Get into a therapist. So when we have a panic attack and it's in an intimate situation, there's probably some trauma that has happened around the intimacy. So I would strongly suggest getting with a good therapist and starting to work on this so that you can enjoy being intimate and not have panic attacks. And that is common for those of us who have been through sexual attacks. You bet. It's panicking in the middle of sex, panicking, when we're, just making out, panicking when, whatever, because it reminds us of the attack. It reminds us of our abuser. It reminds us of whatever. So yeah, get with a good trauma therapist and start working on that. Absolutely. How do you address very subtle patterns of control as the therapist, specifically when one partner continues to indirectly sabotage therapy, but keeps saying they want to be in therapy? Well, I'm not quite sure what specifically you're talking about. So say, for example, I'm working with a couple and one member of the couple just never does the homework, never does the homework. The other one's doing the homework. This one's not doing the homework. Or I give a joint homework assignment and this one part of the couple just refuses to do anything. At that point, I call them out on it. It's like, okay, you're telling me you want this, but you're doing this. Can you see the discrepancy here? There is some, incongruentness. What is going on? So you say you want this, but you're doing this. What the hell? I will be very direct because that's obviously, if you've been watching any of these videos, you know that I am very blunt. So, yeah, I call them out on it. It's like, why are you sabotaging? Why are you tanking this relationship as fast as you can? And generally when I do that, if they are a narcissist, at that point they go, fuck you, you're incompetent, I'm leaving, blah, 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 and they leave. Because now the focus is back on them where it should be. So, yeah, absolutely. Hope that answered the question. Okay, that is it for questions. No show this week. Remember, I am taking a small break. So I will be back the following week, which will be, where the hell are we? Okay, so no show on the 9th, back on the 16th. On the 16th, I am going to be discussing agoraphobia and PTSD and why those two are connected. So yes, so that's what I will be talking about on the 16th. I hope you guys have a great couple of weeks until I see you again on the 16th. Be good to each other, be good to yourselves, and I will talk to you later. Bye.